And we continue with more developments here on Africa World. Our special criminal court has sentenced Sylvia Bongo Ondimba, the former First Lady of Gabon, and her son, Noureddin Bongo Valentin, to 20 years in prison. That's after a 2-day corruption trial. The pair were found guilty of years in prison. After a 2-day corruption trial, the pair were found guilty of money laundering, embezzlement, forgery and concealment of public funds, charges stemming from a vast financial network allegedly used to divert hundreds of millions of dollars in state resources. We're joined now by a member of Gabon's civil society, Yvan Disuly, who speaks to us about the developments and their significance. A very good evening to you, and thank you so much for speaking to us.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Let's just first start with the Bongo family and their vast influence, and as we have mentioned, their financial network. I know it certainly has even reached its tentacles here in South Africa. Just tell us a little bit more about what we're seeing here and the implications.
And you must know that Sylvia Bongo Ondimba, the former First Lady, and her son, Noureddin Bongo Valentin, they were arrested 2 years ago after the coup that happened in Gabon after the 30th of August 2023. They were accused of forging, usurpation of title. They were accused of stealing money, looting public fund and so on. So, and after 2 years of detention, the trial was supposed to started on Monday, on the 10th of November. And the trial was resolved as quickly as possible. As we know, that there was release on a provisional release, due to illness, and they refused to come back to attend their trial. And so the case went in absentia. They couldn't attend it. They never accept to have independent counsel to represent them. So the case is closed. The argument closed yesterday, and the sentence was given. So the sentence, as you said before, it 20 years in prison and to pay back the state more than 100,000 million francs CFA.
But I was just saying, if you could just give us a sense of the largesse and how they used it, because often a lot of African, certainly dictators, is what Bongo was described as, and how he used state funds. If you could just give us a picture of what they were doing, where they were doing, how long they've been doing it.
And it's going to be difficult to put all the despotic regime, all the fault that the despotic regime did on Sylvia Bongo and her son. Because you must remember that case talking about only when Ali Bongo got a stroke. Just after that, Ali Bongo got a stroke in 2018. Just after that, that's when Sylvia Bongo and her son came in power mostly, while they were most seen next to the president, and they were accused even forging his signature. They were taking his responsibility without having any mandate from the people. That's where it's coming from for the specific cases. If you're going to have a trial of the regime of Bongo father to the son Ali Bongo, we're talking about 56 years, and all of that can't be put on Sylvia and her son. We must have a trial for the whole situation from 1968 till now, when the president was ousted in 2023. So we can't really put all the blame on them for the 56 years, as I say it. There's just been trial for those 5 years in power, where there was getting in power when Noureddin got his first public function, as he was a general coordinator of president affairs. That's where he started to be in front of office. Beside that, he was not dead. He was even young. Can you see? He was born, if I'm not mistaken, he was 1994. So he's mostly 31 years old. And you can't put 56 years of despotic, chaotic management of a country to a young guy like that, even his mother.
So are you saying their proximity to power during Bongo's time did not lead to unfair accrual or even nefarious accrual of state funds? Are you saying it's only during the time, 5 years that you put it, that you say they were responsible for corrupt actions? And is that your opinion, or is that also what the courts found?
No, that's my opinion on the case that is put on us. Because in that case, we're not like going on a trial of 56 years of the regime of Omar Bongo and his son. We just only talking about the money that was looted during Ali Bongo time. Ali Bongo spent 14 years in power, from 2009 to 2023, when he took after his father. So at least if you want to put them like all the responsibility for the looting of money and so on, but there's a thing that's most important to understand. There was not having any public responsibility. There's no, in the Constitution even, there's not recognized the First Lady title. And the son even. Besides that, the dictator in Africa mostly, when they're in power, we're talking about the family getting advantages from that. But there's other people, there's like budget director, accountant, those who take responsibilities from departments of the country, who are those that permitted to have that money taken from from public institutions. You can't only just put them with all the blame. If they are to be blamed, we must also call those who are in power at this time. So all of them, they must go on trial, and everyone must speak or must defend himself on what money was, when that money was taken, what was taken, and when, and so on.
And that's what I did ask in the beginning, if you could please explain to us about the extent of the financial network and how they benefited, how they used it. If we are talking about money laundering, embezzlement, forgery, and from what you're arguing, you are saying that they had nothing to do with the handing over of power from father to like the family legacy of autocracy in the country. But as I was saying, that nepotism surely did not occur in a vacuum.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nepotism. As I said, they were benefiting from everything. From when you talk about autocracy, mostly even those who are not in power have some kind of, let's say, line of command on those who are, let's say, from ministers, from like public figure, those who are director of budget, accountant of the treasury, and so on. So they were using their position as a proximity with Ali Bongo, the president, to give orders, to get money from that, and to get it to put it to their pocket. So that was mostly what was happening. If you were talking about that, you must go to the Minister of Finance, who was mostly responsible of the money of the country. You must talking about the general treasury, the treasury. That's where the money is kept actually. So if the money going from the treasury to them, how did this process came in? What was going on? Who ordered and at what time and when? Who was signing those documents for the money to be taken from public government to a private pocket? So there's a lot to be understood on that thing, and the trial didn't go through all those questions.
So that's also what I'm trying to establish. So are you suggesting that the trial did not bring up this information, that it was not transparent, and are you also then suggesting that the findings are unfair?
Yeah, but if the trial going on 2 days and after 2 days you get a sentence, it means that for all the money they have been accused of looting, we can't be discussing it in 2 days. That's not possible at all. So after even 2 months of expecting or what was happening and so on, even in 2 days we can't discuss all the proof. We can't put on the table all the proof that they were looting all the kinds of money. That's not possible to do. So in 2 days' time we can't go through all the questions to know who did what at what time. That's what's most important to know. We don't have the time when the money was taken. We don't have the day where that money was taken exactly. We were just saying that money was coming from the national treasury to their pocket. At which rate? So it was every month they was taking something, or after some project was done, or there's a lot of questions to be asked on that. We don't have all the answer. So.
And who do you think then is responsible? Are you suggesting that the judiciary is complicit, or is it the junta itself that you feel is oppressing them?
I don't say that the judicial system is captured, but we're talking about an autocracy for 56 years. So for all this time, for like half a century, more than half a century, so there's many people who are involved in that process, even by understanding the time that they were staying in power. Just by this time, you can understand that not only two people can do whatever they are being accused of. That's not possible. That's not unacceptable even. So the truth, or to clear in that case, we must know who did what at what time. So we must,
Disuly,
we must interrogate everyone.
I can hear you insisting on the fact that they alone cannot be responsible, and you're pointing out the fact that those who are complicit are themselves not being charged, that the court did not ventilate these issues. I'll go back to my question again. Are you suggesting that it's the judiciary that is complicit in an unfair process, because somebody has to be responsible? If you're saying these two individuals are bearing the brunt for only 5 years of crime.
Yeah, I will come back to something. You must remember that last week, Noureddin Bongo, when he was in detention, he captured some videos, like he did it illegally. He captured some video. We saw even a video that was trending on social media, where there were the judiciary system went to Ali Bongo, to the private house. They made Ali Bongo, the former president, his wife Sylvia Bongo, and his son to sign some document to grant a provisional release. And they were asking them to, even if they're going to say something about the case that's happening, they're going to pay 1 billion on francs CFA. 1 billion on francs CFA, I don't know how much is it in dollars or whatever. I didn't make a calculation, but that was the case. And we saw most video where we saw another video on social media that Noureddin decided to make it trend, so he put it on social media for the public to see. Even they went to the office of the president, the General Olingingema. We saw him discussing with them about their release. Why he said that it's something they're gonna do in family, because if he was not part of a family, that thing will not happen the way it did happen. So there's a lot of question with what we saw last week and what is happening now with all the numbers that were that have been put on. So there's a lot of question to see. I don't want to put pressure or to say that the judicial system is captured or whatever. I don't want to put accusation to anyone. I want everyone to take his own responsibility to say what and when, to make the public understand more about what is happening. Because we must remember that it is mostly the first time that we're seeing that the former First Lady being arrested after the husband has been ousted.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Gabon Civil Society's Yvan Disuly. It brings the time to 25 minutes past 9.